I want to make sure that this time around, man, we give the people what they need to hear, man.
No question.
You can find us on Twitter at
the Summer Pod.
The Summer Pod. All right, so Summer Pod's Twitter. On Instagram, it's the Summer Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
On YouTube, it's the Summer Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're searching
iTunes,
the podcast itself is iTunes, Spotify, you can find us. So
the Summer Podcast.
Be sure to follow, like, subscribe, comment, all those different things on the social media platforms.
No
cool.
problem.
I'm Mo Elrod, and let's go ahead and get this thing going.
I'm Alex Pugh. Many call me Moneyball. Like my marketing genius just stated before. Let's get this thing going.
You're a Rockies guy, y'all. Don't let him front. I'm Marlon Lowe. We in this thing, always having good time, getting great conversations. That's what it's about, right?
And this is episode 120.
120 in the building.
120.
Man.
Before we kicked off the podcast, man, we had a group chat going about topics. So I think let's just get to it, man. The first, to me, the biggest news of the week or the biggest headline of the week was the young fella committing to Howard.
Makur Maker.
That was the biggest?
I think so. It sparked it was big to me, Pugh, because there has been a lot of conversations, for years, and then really recently in this short span, people, having this HBCU conversation, and then it finally happened. You know what I'm saying? I remember you putting it in a group chat one time, Pugh, that somebody got to do it for the culture, right? And so somebody finally did it. And here's my biggest issue is that in the Black community, it's almost like I hear so many negative comments about, oh, well, the kid may not go there because he probably end up going to the league, or he might go overseas, or he's already, a couple years removed from high school anyway. All these different things. It's like, why can't we just celebrate the fact that the kid committed?
No question.
Just leave it there. Like,
no
congratulations.
Question.
We always got to figure out another way to diminish what occurred, and instead of just celebrating that and then let everything else be whatever it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? And I have a big problem with that, within our community. It's almost like, Pugh, you saying, yo, Mo, I just cashed out, man. I signed a big deal for $1 million. And I'm like, yeah, but after taxes, only going to be $600,000.
Yeah.
Just congratulate me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a problem with just giving each other, I don't even want to say our flowers, or just being excited, or, just being respectful of what's going on, instead of trying to always find a way to kind of diminish it.
No, I agree.
I'm excited about it, but I'm at the same time, I'm not going to, I don't really know how to feel, because not to be negative, but if he never puts on a uniform, what has he truly done?
So my question to you is, why does your mind just go there? Because here's why. It's all, again, we're trying to find a reason to not celebrate it. Because when Tyrese Maxey announced he's going to Kentucky, no one said, well, I wonder if he's really going to go. I wonder if he's really going to play there. Everybody was like, oh, man, it's Cal, it's Kentucky. Go Blue, BBN. It was celebrated, regardless of anything else. It was never a question as to why or if that kid was going to go and put on a jersey. We don't know.
No question. I think just by him doing it brought recognition to all HBCUs, that people are actually thinking about them. They're in people's heads. You know what I'm saying? Like they're being cognizant of it. And now people are coming back, you know, going both ways. They say, look here, don't just put his name out there. I want you to strongly consider this. Don't just tease me. You know what I'm saying? But just the fact that people are putting those names out there, you know, those are good things. You know, when we, it's a bigger root to it that we still have to address down the road. But at the same time, for right now, it's good because just by those names being called out is bringing recognition. It's stirring up the alumni base. They're getting excited about it. They see that people are talking about their school, their university, their conference, and what the possibilities could be.
Yeah, and that's all, you know, I'm saying that it relates to it is let's just celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if the kid decides not to go, I mean, that's down the road. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's gonna happen in 6-7 months. We are never in a position, especially nowadays, to be predicting what's gonna happen in the future. You know what I'm saying? We have no clue. You know what I'm saying? So for right now, celebrate it. Then
Shout out to Makur Maker. Shout out to Howard University. I'm with it.
Then it became a conversation of, you know, people were saying, well, you know, black assistant coaches or black coaches, you know, coaching at that level is where I guess we're pressuring the kids to make the decision to go to a black college. You know, why aren't we, you know, putting that same amount of pressure on, you know, black coaches? That's my printer going off. Sorry, y'all. My thing is this. Those are two totally separate debates.
No.
It is. I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
If Alex Pugh, I'm going to use Pugh as Pugh's going to be the player.
Okay.
Marlon Lowe's going to be the college coach.
Okay, cool.
No matter what happens, Alex Pugh, you're going to go to D2, D3, D1, whatever school you end up going to, Alex, you are going for free. Now, we all know that, you know, we know things go on, you know what I'm saying? We know things happen, but I'm just using, if we're on an even playing field, Alex Pugh will go to the University of Kentucky and he will not receive $1 for it. He's going to get a free education, regardless if he's there for a year, 2, 3, he graduates from there, whatever. He's going there for free. That's not to me, that's not the same if I'm asking Marlon Lowe, who is a top assistant at Baylor University, who's probably making 300, 400, 500,000, whatever that number is, to take a job at PV or TSU for 75 or 100. To me, that's not the same ask. That's a completely different argument.
I get that. Well, what I was looking at is like this, and I get that. From my understanding on what you said, and I could be off a little bit. It appears that some coaches were saying, like, some people were saying like this: everybody's excited about this kid passing over a Power 5 and going to a HBCU, when in all actuality, there's no coaches leaving Power 5s to go to HBCUs. So why would you get mad at this kid if he didn't decide to go to a HBCU? Does that make sense?
It does, but who's mad at the kid?
Nobody's mad at the kid.
Okay.
Well, I don't think anybody's mad at the kid, but I think what they're saying is like, look, y'all forcing this kid, or everybody pushing the narrative about go to HBCU, go to HBCU, go to HBCU, and these coaches are pushing it, but none of them are leaving or taking a pay cut to go to HBCUs to say that, look, I'm one too. I'm going here in order to be able to make a you know, to blaze a path also. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, what you thinking, Pugh?
So the coaches are sellouts too?
No, I'm just saying that's what a lot of people were saying. It was on social media. They saying like, you know, these coaches they want all these people want these kids to go to HBCUs, but these coaches are not leaving Power 5 jobs to go to HBCUs. They worried about their money. So if this kid can go over here to a Power 5 and have a good opportunity for one and done 1 year, why wouldn't he go up there and maximize his opportunities as well? That's what people were saying.
So that's to your point last week, Elrod. Last week we was talking, and just like you don't believe the NBA players should return and play. You know what I'm saying? You say make a stand for social injustice. The same thing I told you last week. They not leaving that money on the table. That's the same situation with these coaches. At some point, sacrifice has to be made. When are they going to leave $1 on the table to go to HBCU, start the tradition, get it rolling? Because it's a relationship business. The same kids that you're getting to these Power Fives, if you got the juice, guess what? You got the juice. You got the relationships. You're going to land you 1 or 2 kids to really, really start that wave. And once that wave is begun, I mean, it ain't no stopping it if it's the right guy. Now, the problem is, at the HBCUs, the right guy hasn't accepted one of those positions. I mean, and the right guy, yes, it's a lot of variables. I think you got to be young enough, you got to be hip enough, you got to be able to connect, you got to be able to relate. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, you got to be able to walk into that living room and sell your vision. And if you're doing it at a high level, then you have the experience, you have the mouthpiece. Leave $1 on the table, homeboy.
So here's my question to both of y'all. So there is this is more of, I guess it's more of a comment. As it relates to the college coaches, right? And the pay scale, right? The pay scale is derived from what? Because if Baylor University or Kentucky or whatever, if you're an assistant coach at those schools or the head coach at that school, you're making X. Why are you making that kind of money? That's a question.
TV contracts.
Okay. Based off of what, though?
Say it again.
The players
Based
you land.
Players, right?
The players that you were able to obtain to wear that uniform for however long they choose.
So it's players driven, ultimately.
Everything is.
Absolutely, right? So if it's player driven, and let's say Howard lands another big time kid this year, because I think what ultimately happened is, you know, monkey see, monkey do. I don't mean to say it like that, but I think people would just start following, the trend at some point.
That's the part that kind of, I'm not going to say upset me, because I'm not upset. I'm encouraged by his commitment to Howard. But at the same time, I wish this commitment could have came 4 months ago. I wish this commitment could have came 6 months ago. I mean, he committed. Kids are going to school already. Kids are leaving this weekend, going to college. Like, freshmen are going to campus. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too late for another 1 or another 2 players to come and really, really join that wave. You know what I'm saying? Like, so had this took place in December, oh, you absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? So, right situation, I ain't going to throw no player name up, but I know a couple kids here in Houston that got something super late, and had that kid had committed in December, yeah, we could have got that thing popping.
Well, I mean, timing is everything. You know what I'm saying? So maybe in December, you know, maybe he wasn't thinking in this fashion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't say that about the kid that committed late to go to Duke. We just say he took his time and he made a decision to go to Duke late.
But we're also Duke already has a trend. Already has a
well, why is that?
Because year in and year out, they land their players. The HBCUs, they don't.
So they let, but again, my question is though, but why is that? Like, why? See, here's my thing. See, we question this kid. I'm not saying y'all are questioning. I'm talking about just the community is questioning this kid in some capacity, because some people are celebrating and some people are questioning this kid's reason for going. But when it's 5 or 6 Mickey D's going to one team, that's never really questioned.
Because those kids are making the decision. Obviously, they don't plan on being on campus very long. Certain schools in which players choose to attend, the only way to really put it, they're on taking the red carpet to the green room.
And that's not a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee, but I mean, You
it happens
you have to go and think it up. Like it ain't like if it does not happen, that is all on the player. That's not like if you were recruited by Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, Michigan State, well not Michigan State, they don't really do the one and dones. But you know, certain schools, you know what I'm saying, it's a given. One and dones is kind of what comes with it. North Carolina, maybe not in the past 2 years, but you know what I'm saying, they have a pretty good history. So yeah, them schools, it's a red carpet, put on your best suit, suited and booted, cameras, lights, camera, action, green room. Adam Silver, shake his hand, fist bump, however you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Put your hat on. Let's get this money.
Mm-hmm.
And an HBCU
for some of those guys.
For majority of those
we
guys.
don't have a litmus test to say that though, Pugh. You don't have. I'm gonna tell you why. You don't have 10 Mickey D's going to an HBCU to see how that will pan out. We don't have that. We don't have that example. Of course, we have the North Carolina, Duke, and Michigan State and Kentucky examples. So yeah, but we've also seen some of those kids not make it, not do those things going to those schools. You know what I'm saying? So once we're able to have a test of apples to apples, there's 10 HBCU players that was top 10 and whatever versus these guys, then we can have that kind of conversation. But yeah, of course, you're right. That is the example that most people will take is go to Duke, Carolina, Kentucky, and you will go to the NBA. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a no-brainer. I get that.
End of the day, that's just what has become sexy. I don't like it. I don't necessarily agree with it. I'm a firm believer. You know what I'm saying? If you can play, the league gonna find you. You know what I'm saying? Like them people up there, they have a job to do. And whether your journey takes you Division II, Division III, NAIA, D2, if you're good enough with positional size and a skill that can enhance an NBA organization, guess what? That NBA opportunity is gonna come. But for those that, you know, everybody wants the Easy Mac, the microwave, you know what I'm saying? Throw it in the microwave, 2 minutes, it's done. You know what I'm saying? I prefer the oven. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want it cooked thoroughly.
Slow cooker, baby, slow cooker.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's more pay. Yeah,
you gotta rewrite the narrative. You gotta rewrite the narrative.
Well, I think it like this. You know, most people like to be associated with elite groups, right?
For sure.
And so you take the name, think about the name, Power 5. Makes it seem like it's the elite of the elite. People want to be associated with power and elite groups. So therefore, when they say Power 5, I need to be a part of that. You know what I mean? Now, if something happened, if the narrative changed where these schools in the MEAC, the CIAA, or the SWAC or something like that found some type of opportunity to really grow and elevate themselves and come up with another name for their conferences or whatever, or their communities. Now I think it could change a little bit because everybody just want to be a part of something that is considered elite and at the top. You know what I mean? And we haven't pushed the narrative for those other conferences to be that way. And you know, and that's why they say if you don't go to a Power 5, you're crazy. Your power is what everybody get caught up in. You know.
But at the same time, those men, I'm not gonna say those as if it's all of them, but I will say many, you know what I'm saying, are behind the 8 ball because I mean it's 2020. You know what I'm saying? Kids, it's about what's sexy. And when I say what's sexy, I mean color of the uniforms, facilities, the arena in which I'm playing in.
Power 5.
Power 5. The shoes. During the Christmas break, what does the per diem look like? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of like, I hear it, it sounds good, but them Nikes is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like
that goes to my point from last week. That's why we'll never get ahead.
I'm just
telling you, like shiny shit.
But we're dealing with kids.
No, we're not. we're dealing with parents as well.
No, we're not. Parents are allowing kids to make these grown folk decisions.
So
and like somebody said years ago, I don't make it might have been low, you know what I'm saying? But I know somebody said, as a parent, why would you allow your child that you've been making decisions for 18 years, now it's time for one of the biggest decisions of their
lives.
And you're gonna allow a child to make it?
That's what I'm saying.
That's insane.
No question.
Man.
And you're allowing a grown man who's really knowledgeable of this game and knows all the tricks of the trade to recruit him and talk to him on the phone without you knowing and not without you being there listening to everything.
Been perfecting his recruiting pitch for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. This is your child's first time going through this recruiting process, because 2 years ago, he wasn't even good enough to be recruited for an AAU program. Now he's finally turned himself into a player, and you let a grown man manipulate his mind as if he really, really wants him, when at the end of the day, it all goes back to being game-based and can you win me games? Can you get me a pay raise? Oh.
Oh, we got sound effects, Pugh.
Yo!
Like, oh, you don't like it here? I got the raise already because you were a 4.5, 5-star recruit. You don't like it here? Bye. I'm gonna recruit another you.
And that's the thing, though. I think that was low, maybe episode 35 or something, talking about how we give up our, I think you referred to them as natural resources.
Natural resources.
You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it will take an ultimate sacrifice on the community to kind of right this wrong for years. It's not going to happen overnight, because see, the same money that a person at TSU is making in comparison to what a coach is making at Baylor, you're not going to fix that in a year or two. It may take 5 years. It may take a full power shift, because people want to watch good basketball. So if Baylor can't get the guys, or if Texas can't get the guys, and all the guys are going to TSU, the ESPN gonna make a deal with TSU. And people want to see y'all on TV now.
Mo, find a way for us to get in contact with Bob Johnson, the old owner of the BET. We're gonna make some things pop off. Just trust me on that. Find a way to get that done.
Find a way to get.
I know I can probably do some things too. Pugh can make some calls, but right now, with you've been climbing that ladder, man. You've been climbing that ladder, man. You've been getting up there. So go and pull that off for us one time, Mo.
Low got sound effects. This is hot. I like that. Low got sound effects. But no, in all seriousness, I just think that we just need to figure out a way. And it's
only one way, Mo. It's only one way.
I'm listening.
Number one, you gotta hire a coach with swag.
Okay, head coach.
Head coach gotta have some swag. You know what I'm saying? Can't be a 65-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, gotta be something.
Let's put it out there. We gotta hire Uric Malachi.
Oh,
swag. He swag.
He definitely got swag. You know what I'm saying?
Mike at Oklahoma State, he got swag. He swagged up.
Oh, it's a long list of coaches with swag. You know what I'm saying? Like, but once again, them guys got to be willing to. But
AB3 got swag.
Tons of it. You know what I'm saying? But number two, like, we walk around like black folks ain't got money. Black folks got money.
Yeah.
They gotta put their resources back into these universities, whether you graduated from that university or not. Like, need resources.
Absolutely.
I mean, like we can't do it without the dollar. So with that being said, Yeah, somebody gonna have to give back. And it's tons of millionaires, billionaires of color to where we can get these HBCUs the necessary, the required resources.
There it is.
And now with those two things, everything else is a formality.
It's gonna fall into place. Okay, I'm with that.
I mean, once you have a coach that understand what it's about, and you got the resources, man. Yikes!
See,
you gonna get.
I understand that too. I get that too. And at this point in time, it's more so about what can be done. I don't think it's so much even with the coach right now, with the way that the rules are now set up. But again, we can keep talking about that. We can go into something else because we'll talk about that because we're gonna get Mo to climb that ladder, Pugh. We about to be in this thing. We about to get some things popping. I'm telling you. We can get this thing popping. Mo, climb that ladder, man. Give me that plug. You know, I'll talk to anybody. I call them.
Oh yeah, we know it. I'm trying to think of what else. Is there any last words
on that right there?
On that right there.
Man, I think the kid gonna do all right, man. I'm just excited. I'm excited he put out some things. He put out some things to some other guys. Like, yo, come join me, get up in this thing. And even if it's some 3 stars, there's nothing wrong with people who are being 3-star prospects. They should be always looking at that too. They can look at that because that's where their network is. When they done with college, that's their network the whole time. You in school with your network. You ain't got to leave college and say, okay, let me start forming my network.
Yeah.
And people, man. So I'm looking at it like that.
Yeah, I did. I also saw, and again, it's all up and down your timeline. Jason Jordan, who is now the writer for Sports Illustrated. He used to be USA Today, brother. He, from North Carolina, man.
Jason, he with Sports Illustrated now?
Yeah, with that side.
That's what's up.
And so, he put out an interview that he had with Cade Cunningham. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. And he asked Cade, about the whole HBCU, and his thing was, he was never recruited by one. Mm-hmm. And that if he was, he probably would have took some kind of interest in it if he would have been recruited by one. And I remember, my time on the circuit, especially during the live periods, EYBL, the Gauntlet, like I would never see those schools in the building. And if I did, I didn't. It might have been 1 or 2. I never seen any. Yeah.
Because those coaches don't have the swag to go and recruit those kids. It's just like anything else. Like if we walk through the mall right now today, you know what's in your league. You know what's out your league. You know what I'm saying? You see a bad yellow. That's too much for me. Them red bottoms too much for me. I probably can't get that one. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's swag though, Pugh. More so is they just don't have the budgets to be there, man. They don't have the budgets to be able to go from this place to that place, man.
No, man. No, I mean, okay, they don't have the budget to be at this place or that place. Okay, cool. But at the same time, you gotta shoot your shot.
You gotta shoot. Hey, Pugh, I'm with you.
You gotta shoot your shot, man. Like I'm one of them guys. Like you gotta tell me no. No, cool. I tried. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to just tell myself, nah.
I ain't gonna try that one. Mm-hmm. And that's, maybe that's part of the problem too. Maybe we don't have enough of those coaches that are willing to shoot their shot or is content with getting them after they've gone to a Power 5 school to transfer over, as opposed to out the gate, trying to holler at them.
We've also put them in position where they don't feel like they don't feel like they want to waste their time. Sometimes they like, look, I've been doing this 10, 15 years. We ain't never got one out the gate. So sometimes they be like, look, I'm not going to waste my time with that. I'm going to look at the transfers. I'm going to look at this. You know what I mean? So it's not, it's the culture that we collectively have
created.
began in regards to the HBCUs. We make those guys feel like they can't get them, and we, from our side, make it seem like they're not good enough to go. That school isn't good enough for us to send them there. You know what I mean?
It's a melting pot of bullshit.
I'm not gonna say a melting pot of
It is, Mo.
It
It all boils down to the dollar. Like, it is what it is. Them HBCUs don't have the resources to monetarily bless some of the handlers. So with all of that goes into amateur sports, you're right.
If we did do it, they do. I think the resources are there. I think that it's just hidden, and it's not, and they're just not being. If they knew what was coming in, and the opportunities, all the opportunities that presented itself, these resources would be there. You're gonna have alumni coming out; they're gonna be around, so the opportunities will be there. But the simple fact that we don't give them any action or any play, so people, or to make these schools know that, no, we'll do this. This is what it is. Then they people like, look, hey man, I'm just gonna kind of do what I've been doing. But opportunities would be there. I believe the opportunities would be there.
I think, Pugh, you mentioned microwave and you want your stuff to be cooked, right, in the oven.
Slow cooker.
Slow cook, right? You gotta take this conversation back to the true essence, the beginning, when we integrated schools and they allowed us to come to their schools. Because even then we felt like their water was colder because we were being accepted. And so then it became, oh, I can go play at UCLA. I don't have to go to Howard University, where we were dominating college basketball during that era when we had to go to our schools, right? So then you integrate. And now we feel like, okay, well, if we go to Michigan State or if we go to Texas or wherever, now we're accepted. And so then now, like you just mentioned, the resources, we've been building their resources for the past 30, 40, 50, 60 years. So it's no surprise that they got all this shit. It's no surprise. We've been carrying them for the long.
Yeah, Mo.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a slow process for us to reverse it, but we have to start. And I think that when we start, I don't want to say humiliating, but really kind of condemning kids for putting out this narrative of choosing the HBC, oh, they clout chasing, oh, they ain't really gonna go. Like, what type of shit is that? Like, why we gotta do all of that? That shit bothering me, bro.
I think that started a lot of adults too.
It's a lot of stuff that bother me. I mean, these Power Fives, man, they have cornered the market, man, and they got everybody, you know what I'm saying, joining in the Muffet Baby clown show. You know what I'm saying? They like think about Midnight Madness. You know what I'm saying? You pull up, you're gonna see Snoop Dogg, gonna see, you know what I'm saying, 2 Chainz.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Like, they got everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, talking about culture vulture. Jeez.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So many levels, so many layers, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's so much to it. And I think that, these conversations are really happening. I think we'll see some changes, man.
They're scared to allow theirs to be first. They don't want theirs to be the first one.
Does Jordan Brand sponsor a HBCU?
I think they're gonna start doing some things this year. I think Nike gonna start sponsoring a lot of HBCUs this year. I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the real question, because once again, ain't nobody excluded. Like, why not?
I'm with that. That's a good point, Pugh. Good point, Pugh.
I think ultimately it goes down to being empowered and being able to make decisions that are not the norm. You know what I'm saying? And a couple hours ago, little segue, I was watching this, it was this ESPN show called The Backstory, and it's about the decision. LeBron, 2020. Y'all see that?
Yeah, I seen the little
trailer for it.
Yeah, trailer for it. Yeah.
And they were talking. I mean, it was about maybe an hour. I think it was about an hour. And they were just talking about what led to the decision, how it came about, and really how quickly like the world like just turned on LeBron because he made that decision. And again, it was an empowering situation. They just didn't like him being able to do that. He had an hour-long segment on ESPN. He had all type of charity, money that was being donated, all that was happening. And people just wasn't happy with his decision because he controlled the narrative. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm watching it and I'm like, wow. Dan Gilbert writes the letter about how, LeBron was, a bad dude for leaving. And it's just like, how dare you leave me? You know what I'm saying? It was, I don't want to say.
You're right.
You can say
what you're saying.
Yeah. No, don't be PC. Go on and say it. Go on and say it.
Oh, funny, man.
Yeah, you know what you're saying.
Yeah, man.
He thought he was dealing with Steven.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
He was dealing with Steven.
Yeah.
He ain't realized he was dealing with Django.
Good call, Pugh.
Dealing with Django. He's like,
man,
no, don't do this. And I didn't remember, man, like LeBron was 25 at the time. LeBron James is by far the athlete of our lifetime outside of like a Muhammad Ali. Obviously I wasn't around for that era, but just like learning. But to see an athlete empowered, nobody has done it like that dude, man.
No question.
Nobody.
I totally agree, and I totally respect everything LeBron has done. But what I don't want to do,
I was waiting on that butt.
People come with a butt.
What I don't want to do is commingle the two. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like if we're gonna talk sports or talk basketball, then let's not judge LeBron for his off court. When we're talking hoops, let's keep it strictly basketball. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of people, when talking about who's the best player, you know what I'm saying? It's LeBron. He done put all his boys on. I thought we were talking basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, now if we're gonna leave basketball alone, and now we're gonna talk about athletes, you're 100% right. There's not another athlete that has come through and will ever have the legacy and the imprint that LeBron James has
cemented
made in regards to the culture.
Yeah.
And we think about that because of he's trailblazed so many different lanes and created more lanes than athletes haven't done in the past. So therefore, when somebody talks about LeBron, the first thing you do is you see more than just a basketball player. You see all of the avenues and lanes that he's created. That's why it's kind of hard to just focus just on the basketball per se, because you see so many other things. You can even start, when you start talking about, oh man, you're creating a school, you're thinking about LeBron, he come to mind. You know what I'm saying? You talk about just making impacts in the industry or even in politics. You think about him, and so he's created so many different lanes that make people say like, yo, he can be a part of this and part of that. And that's why it's hard to, like you say, Pugh, to just focus on basketball when you're talking about LeBron. You got to actually tell somebody, listen, we're only going to talk about the basketball LeBron, okay? We're only going to talk about the basketball LeBron.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, for me, I don't even like debating or speaking on LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Because we call them Bron-Sexuals, and I'm a LeBron fan. I'm just not as the same level. It's levels. I'm not at the same.
It really is.
As some of the other people that, you know what I'm saying, I engage in conversation with. But
I've never heard Bron-Sexuals, but that is funny as hell. I'm with you. Like, I went to school in Ohio, and like it's unbelievable how they ride for this dude on the basketball side. I remember this is like man, years ago, LeBron caught the ball off of inbound, inbound. He go 1, 2, 3, dribble. So I'm like, I recorded it, and I
remember that one.
Look, and I was like, yo, this dude just traveled. Yo, I was called everything but a man of God for people that I know. They was mad at me. Oh, Mo, you Elrod, you a hater. I'm like, yo, he traveled. Like, I don't understand. Like, they just blank out, bro.
Now, you want to see me get quiet, bro? Start a conversation on Bron, bro, in the wrong crowd. I know when to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it becomes entertainment. I just sit back and I enjoy the show. Like, I'll be really looking for the popcorn, like, oh, I know where this is going. Like, but Bron, he's done a lot. But I don't think Jalen Rose has a school.
Yeah.
Never gets mentioned. George Gervin has a school in San Antonio. Like a lot of guys have started schools, but why don't they get the same? Well, you know why. I mean, if J Rose had a school, if Jalen Rose had because he had a decent, NBA career. He wasn't like Jalen Rose was nice.
No, I'm not saying that. I named my daughter after Jalen Rose.
Oh, yeah.
It's spelled Jalen for a reason. You know what I'm saying? That's the girl version. So that was my guy. And he a lefty.
For sure.
So his NBA career wasn't LeBron, and he didn't do it while he was playing. So it just lost, I guess, a little fizzle. You know what I'm saying? But if he had a crazy-ass career and he did it while he was hooping, yeah, I think he would get more recognition for it. I didn't even know the Iceman had one. That's the guy. I never knew that. Oh, George. So
couple people.
That's probably why. But it was just crazy to watch that debacle of the decision, and they said that 10 million people tuned into it that night, and then after he made the decision, then 13 million people hopped on. It was like a spectacle. I didn't know it was that big. And I remember seeing people burning his jersey, and I just never understood all of that stuff. That was just weird to me. Like, he don't want to play there no more.
They wanted to be Benedict Arnold. They called him Benedict Arnold, man, the traitor. Crazy.
You definitely should have knew how big the decision was. Just in following the league and understanding how everything, it's a ripple effect. Mm-hmm. Like with LeBron being a free agent, that means nobody gets signed until LeBron makes a decision. So every player, their family, you know what I'm saying? Like the entire league was on pause because if four teams thought they had a chance, they're not trying to sign anybody else until I know for sure I'm not signing LeBron. Now that if I know I'm not getting LeBron, now I can try and figure out who I'm gonna get his money to.
Yeah. But
until that domino falls, oh no. Everybody turn to ESPN.
He said everybody turned to ESPN.
They was there. Shit, I'm sure every household, 95% of the households in Ohio was probably was part of that first 10 mil, Mo.
Man. And I remember when he was there, there's a place in Cleveland called the Flats. It's kind of like how we call the Galleria, right? It's just an area in downtown Cleveland where they got bars and restaurants. And I just remember how it was always jumping when he was there. Yo, when he left, that shit was a ghost town, bro. So like he really like affected economy in Cleveland.
That's why they're hating. They looking at it as money. Like, shit, you heard Dan Gilbert? What you say about Dan Gilbert? Hey, he understood the ramifications of it before anybody else did.
Candyland.
You know what I mean? Huh?
Candyland.
What'd you say?
Candyland.
Oh. Yeah.
He knew.
So what's up, man? We about to wind this thing down. We've been on about 50 minutes. Y'all see Moses tell you trying to keep it short now. Both trying to keep this thing short, y'all. Pugh said we need to drop it down right at the beginning. He said, yo, let's keep this thing About 45 minutes so everybody can get on and get off.
Pugh said, hey, man, bow down to Moneyball. Moneyball said, hey, shut this thing down after about an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just ain't think, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool with however long, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, don't want folks to get bored, keep them entertained, keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling. You're right, because I listen to Joe Budden podcast. That boy sometimes can be 3 hours. And I can never get through it in one listening because I don't have 3 hours to dedicate to listening to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with the hour 15, you know what I mean? Get in, get out, keep it moving. Is there any new information? Pugh was the NBA insider on the bubble. Pugh, what you got? What's new? Give us something.
I mean, the only thing really new is, you know what I'm saying, players that are replace the guys that have opted out.
Any new opt-outs?
Victor Oladipo.
Yeah.
Well, Victor Oladipo.
Focus on rehabbing, yeah.
Yep. Thabo Cephalosha with the Rockets. Those two are probably the only two additions, if my mind serves me correctly.
Yeah.
A few other players haven't really put out the list of who all has tested positive for COVID.
They probably won't, right? They probably won't do that, will they?
I mean, they said the league is not gonna disclose that information, but if the team or if the player come out and share, then they'll kind of address it accordingly, but they're not gonna, you know, that's personal. So they might not, some folks might not want them to know, but I think total, I think they said 25 players and 10 staff personnel has tested positive. I know 3 people in New Orleans, 2 people in Miami, 2 players in Miami, 3 players in New Orleans. 1 player did come out and say he tested positive. Landry Shamet from the Clippers. He came out and said he tested positive. He was the only one that was kind of another name added to the list. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, you're just kind of waiting to see when are they going to give another name per se. But Landry Shamet, I did read today that he did test positive for COVID.
I think last week too, P, you was telling us that the other 8 or 9 teams, what you call them, the sorry teams, the
losers.
What you call them?
The losers.
The losers.
So and to give an update. First off, I gotta correct Stan. I was reading, and I gave some bad information last week. For players that choose to opt out, they are not forfeiting their entire salary. It's a small fraction in regards to the money in which they'll be forfeiting. And it's like over 92 point something, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? And that percentage will be deducted for up to 14 games, 14 games being the maximum in which that they can deduct a fraction of their salary. But according to the league, they're doing everything in their power to come up with this losers bracket.
I seen that.
I don't know what they're trying to get out of it. I mean, but hey, if they want to do it, I hope they don't televise it. Like it's like,
hey, more revenue, people gonna look. People in those little small markets gonna look. And
that's what it's all about, man. But I mean, hey, if they're willing to risk it, you know what I'm saying, risk an injury, this and that to the third, hey, if it's important to you, it's important to me. I just don't want to hear nobody come. Like, if players are opting out of participating in Orlando, why are we really giving energy to a losers bracket?
Like you just said, man, it's money.
Yeah, hey.
I mean, it's
revenue streams is what they look at, small or large. If it's gonna bring in some revenue, that's what they're looking at.
Yeah,
I just don't agree with it.
And we're about what 24 days
Yep.
before it kicks off. So before we know it, season to be back. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see how it all plays itself out, man.